There are basically no simps among boys in China now. If they see that you have good qualities, they will take the initiative to approach you. If you want to test him, for example by being deliberately aloof and not responding to his messages, hoping that he will chase you for a while longer, you might think that because the pursuit is difficult, he will cherish you more. However, if you do this, don't expect him to cherish you. Many boys will immediately stop paying attention to you. Boys are just that realistic now, and when girls think they should wait a bit longer, they often end up disappointed.
我发现现在来相亲的男生都魔怔了。
I found that the guys who come to blind dates nowadays are a bit extreme. They all say they are no longer willing to be simps. I thought, that's good, gender equality, mutual understanding, mutual respect, right? But guess what? One guy told me that when he chats with a girl, he finds that he has sent 2 more messages than the girl, and then he says he doesn't want to be a simp anymore. If the girl doesn't reply to him within 15 minutes, he deletes her. If the girl says she is busy and can't answer the call, he blocks her directly. If they arrange a date and the girl can't make it, he disappears completely. Aren't we going a bit overboard with this simp thing?
以后不要给我买东西了，我不喜欢你。
我还不想舔你了呢，舔了几个人就你事最多。
哎，这什么意思？几个人？同时舔几个人？是前天和你说话那个女生吗？还是昨天跟你吃饭的那个女生？是不是？今天必须把这话说清楚。说话呀，说话呀，你说话呀！为什么最近送饭老是迟到？你是不是舔腻了？想趁机甩掉我？我告诉你不可能，只能舔我，必须舔我。我现在喜欢你了，行不行啊？你说话，行不行啊？
没有用，这是第一点。我以前一直在做舔狗。
Let me tell you, as a man, don't be a simp. If you like someone but she doesn't like you, it's useless to force yourself on her. This is the first point. I used to try being a simp, but I overlooked an important fact. If she doesn't like you, no matter how much you try to flatter her, it's all in vain. Another point is that it's not true that people will only like you when you have money. This is a misconception. What you really need to do is to become better yourself, and good things will naturally follow. Your excellence is not just because you make money, but because your life experiences have enriched you. Now I understand that the reason people might not like you could be because of certain issues you have. Remember, to be successful, you need to make yourself excellent. If you keep being a simp, you might end up with nothing. Brothers, being a simp will eventually leave you with nothing. The key is to become truly excellent. Work hard to improve yourself and cherish the people around you. If you have a girlfriend, treat her well and don't pursue those self-centered girls. I used to have a weak aura, very humble and insecure, but now I have become confident. When dealing with self-centered girls, you must be confident and not humble. Brothers, never be too good to a woman. If you treat her unconditionally well, she will gradually regard herself as superior to you and think she can find someone better. The more you give, the more she will feel that you are not worthy of her. In her eyes, your sincerity will become worthless. My blood and tears have taught me that once a woman gets used to your giving, she will become increasingly selfish. Even if you no longer treat her well, she will still blame you, saying that you suddenly changed. The key is that your kindness has not earned the expected return. She will think that you treating her well is a given, and might even hold a grudge against you. Her heart will never be satisfied because you have always been a doormat. Eventually, she might tell her friends that you are a hypocrite. She will say that you started out treating her well but suddenly became a different person. In reality, brothers, your sincerity did not receive the corresponding reward, and she only feels that you have changed. Remember, don't be too good to a woman. It's like feeding a dog, you can't feed it too much. People are the same. She will find faults with you, accuse you of being hypocritical, and say that you were good to her for a while and then changed. She might even call you a scumbag, even though you treated her well, but she finds it meaningless. Brothers, remember, your sincerity should be cherished. If she takes your efforts for granted, when you stop giving, she will feel that you owe her. Don't be that kind of nice guy, don't be a doormat. Value your life and stay away from selfish women who only know how to take and not give back.
现在大部分30岁以上男人如果还没有结婚的话，一般来讲他们都是不会去恋爱的。
In recent years, most unmarried men over 30 years old usually no longer choose to fall in love. The smarter a man is, the less inclined he is to fall in love, because he believes that love brings him no benefit and is mainly to satisfy some physiological needs. I think if a man does not fall in love, he must have mastered the rules of love or spent a lot of unjust money in the past. In recent years, more and more older single women have become quite noticeable. However, there is a significant difference between leftover women and leftover men. Older leftover women generally talk tough, but in reality, more than 90% of them, despite claiming they don't want to find a partner, don't want to get married, and even plan to be child-free. As long as they are not yet 40 years old, they will still go on blind dates in secret. Even if they are not proactive, their parents will not give up. No parent is willing to accept that their daughter will not get married for life. Even if economic conditions have improved and the number of strong women has increased, deep down, women still hope to have a man to protect them. Very few women are truly willing to shoulder everything alone. There are some things in the world that women can do, but there are also many things that need a man's help. It's just that many women dare not admit it, but deep down they still need a man. I don't know if all older single men are now hiding, but their lifestyle is similar to men over 50 years old. Some men even seem to be retired and especially like fishing, spending hours at it. When walking in the evening, I see some men in their 30s squatting by the river fishing, most of whom have no families. If they had families, children, and elderly people to care for, which man would come out to fish at night? These men seem to no longer need a normal life. Their needs are minimal. They would rather play games, read books, or fish than fall in love and get married. Now, the proportion of male consumption has risen, while female consumption has declined. In the past, most men did not have their own spending power because the money they earned was for their wives and daughters. A man who could earn 8,000 yuan might have a lower quality of life than a woman who earned 3,000 yuan. However, now male spending on electronics, games, and outdoor recreational activities has greatly increased. I don't know if men inherently don't want to chase women, or if it's because the economy is bad and incomes are low, so they don't want to spend money on love, or if men really no longer need women by their side.
I am a witness. I saw this guy kneeling for an entire day and night. He started kneeling at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon and continued until this morning, even though it was raining. People around him and the police tried to persuade him to leave, but he refused. I also told him that it was unnecessary. The girl doesn't like you anymore, so there's no point in stubbornly staying there.
我给你买了多少手机？我问你这一次，我给你买了多少手机？是我的用我的话，我哪还敢这么掉？站立起！给我出来！干掉你！给我出来！
你能做我女朋友吗？
你是在开玩笑吧？我一个月挣5万，你一个月挣5000，你知道什么意思啊？
什么意思啊？
我随手一个包，你3个工资就没了。
但是我可以努力工作，我能给你买得起。
做舔狗的男生越来越少了。
As the number of simp men decreases, some women are starting to feel anxious. Many women believe that if a man is pursuing them, he should show sincerity and put in more effort. In the past, this view was reasonable because there were no mobile phones and limited interaction with the opposite sex, so the phenomenon of riding a donkey to look for a horse was rare. But in today's era, even if a woman finds you attractive, she might continue to look at other men. If you invest in her without reservation, you are likely to end up at a disadvantage. In reality, once you have been in a few normal relationships, you will find that someone who genuinely wants to be with you will not require you to make one-sided efforts. The process of dating will naturally bring you together, You don't need to lower yourself to please her or support her. Those who have spent a lot of effort pursuing someone for a year, sending breakfast, gifts, and spending a considerable amount of money, have shown their sincerity. But often, they are still seen as simp by the women. True affection is about appreciating you as a person, not making you continuously give. If you encounter someone who only makes you spend, ignore them and consider them as begging.
Many girls encounter a similar problem. A man who has always been very nice to you, even to the point of simping, suddenly stops. The correct answer is that he is tired of simping, and you are not worth his continued effort. That is the standard answer. However, what I want to say is not just that simple. For women, the initial attraction to a man is mostly his looks and outward personality. What makes a man choose a woman is generally her overall capability, but what ultimately brings them together is the woman's emotional intelligence and various small details in daily life. I often hear many girls say online, "Do you know? Actually, we girls don't care about anything. What we want is just someone who cares meticulously for us, someone who shows favoritism towards us. Just saying you love me is useless, I want favoritism." To be honest, I don't hear favoritism, it sounds more like obsession. First of all, girls must understand human nature. There is an underlying logic to human nature, which is inherently selfish. If I have to go against my nature, defy my instincts to love you, how painful that would be. So everyone must understand one thing in intimate relationships: why should the other person give you anything? Relationships require long-term maintenance, there is no such thing as taking it for granted. If you think you should keep extending the trial period for the guy, increasing the difficulty of the tests to judge his sincerity, I think it's unnecessary. This won't necessarily make him cherish you more, and you might miss out on someone who genuinely cares about you.